Hi guys, today I want to share with you my version of beef stroganoff. Beef stroganoff is a sauteed pieces of meat in a creamy sauce over egg noodles. But we're gonna have not just one, but two secret ingredients. For this recipe you will need 2 pounds of flank steak, you will need 1 onion, 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of heavy cream, 3 or 4 small pickles, I'll tell you later what we need them for, some wide egg noodles, salt and pepper to taste, and some dried dill. Before we cut the beef, we're gonna need a sharp knife, because a sharp knife is always a safe knife, and we're going to need a cutting board that is only used in your household for meat. Let's start with our meat preparation. We will cut this wide piece of flank steak into 2 strips, and each strip we were gonna cut into little ribbons. Don't cut it too small, because it's better when the meat has a little bite to it. In most beef stroganoff recipes they call it for sirloin steak, but I like flank steak because first of all it's flat, it's easy to cut, and it's very tender when it's cooked. Finish cutting all your meat, place it in a bowl and set it aside. Okay, it's time for tears, which means we're gonna cut the onion. Cut onion into halves and just peel off the skin and cut it in a very small strips. You don't want them to be too thick, because you sort of want the onion to disappear in the sauce. Cut all your onion, place it in a bowl and set it aside. Have a pot with some water boiling while we're making beef stroganoff. You need to get your skillet really hot before you add the oil. I like using this avocado oil because it doesn't burn and it doesn't have any taste or smell. Add your onions to a hot skillet and start sauteing them. Reduce your heat to medium and saute them to the point when they become soft and translucent. We're gonna cook them a little bit longer so they will develop a little bit of color, but make sure you don't burn your onions, because that's gonna add a bitter taste to your sauce. So our onions are looking good now. It's almost time to add our meat. Put your meat in a skillet and mix it well with the onion. I do not season the meat ahead of time just for this recipe, because look what's gonna happen now. This meat is gonna start cooking and it's gonna start developing a lot of juice. So most of your seasonings are gonna get lost in this juice and they're gonna evaporate. So what we're looking for this meat to sweat out all the juices, and we're gonna reduce this juice practically to nothing. We need to get rid of this juice. We don't need it. We can season the meat now when the juice is all gone. Put your salt and pepper and season it generously, because now since the juices are all gone, the meat are going to brown a little bit and it will absorb all the seasonings well. When the meat has browned and no juice is left, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of flour and mix it well. We are making what it's called roux. Roux is what's gonna make our sauce nice and thick. Add some water and mix it well. If you feel like your sauce is too thick, you can always add a little bit more water. When you're happy with the consistency of the sauce, it's time for our secret ingredient. Remember? My grandmother used heavy cream instead of sour cream. She didn't like using sour cream because what's gonna happen with the sour cream, it's gonna separate when it's heated up and it's gonna create these little bits and your sauce will not look creamy. Our second secret ingredient is a pickle. Just because we're not using the sour cream, which is normally sour, we're gonna add a pickle to this sauce. My grandmother taught me this recipe, and that's what she was using to bring back that sour taste to the sauce, and it's gonna add a very interesting flavor to beef stroganoff. Just wait and see. We're gonna sprinkle our beef stroganoff with some dried dill. You can use a fresh dill if you like, or a parsley or cilantro, any type of herbs that you like. Let's make some noodles. Put a teaspoon of salt in the boiling water and throw in your noodles. In my case, I'm using these wide country style egg noodles, but you can use mashed potatoes for the side dish, or in some cases I've seen people even using rice, but the traditional recipe requires you to use noodles. Get a nice big platter and let's assemble our dish. We're gonna put all the drained noodles in the middle of the dish, and we're going to pour beef stroganoff over the noodles. Look at all this yumminess. It's just absolutely gorgeous and delicious, and the sauce is nice and creamy. Cut some parsley and just sprinkle it over the top, and voila, it's ready. While I'm serving my table, I wanted to share a quick story about this recipe that was created in the early 1800s and in the house of Count Stroganoff, but by his French chef. This dish was created for the open table that Stroganoff held every Sunday in his house, and everybody, even people off the street, could attend this feast as long as they dressed neatly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed preparing this dish for you. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.